Did you hear what the president said yesterday? That he was going to make it illegal for large companies to own single family homes?
Been doing so many changes for us right now. The people with a visa cannot buy a house with an FHA. So a lot of, as you can hear, I'm a foreigner and I live in Houston, Texas. A lot of people come here with visa. They're working all these oil and gas company are coming from Schlumberger and Exxon and all that. They come in the US, they're here temporarily, but they still want to invest. And then the fact that they could have access to FHA loan versus a conventional loan make a difference. So they remove a lot of my buyer pool,
Really?
and a lot of all different changes happening. So at this point, all I can do is just work with what we have and what's going on.
Hey guys, it's Karalynn and welcome back to the podcast where today we're going to talk about all things real estate with Danielle Bilumbo-Leach.
Hey,
How are you, Miss Danielle?
I am great. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
No worries. Before we dive in, kind of tell us about yourself, how you got started, and where you are now.
So, as you can hear my accent, I am not from here. I was born in Congo, Central Africa, and my parents moved to France when I was a toddler. So that's pretty much where's my upbringing and everything that I am. Is pretty much it. So I'm kind of a French Congolese, I guess we'll call me there. And then when I was in college, I studied finance and business and startup and accounting. So when I was doing my master in finance, my business school, I needed to do an internship for 1 year, to graduate. And then so I came to the US and then here in Houston because my goal was to become a trader in commodities. Okay. And then so I picked Houston because it was the capital of the energy.
Hmm.
And then I got here and I did everything I was supposed to do. And as I was having my full-time job and working in a financial field, every day I have this gut in my stomach telling me, uh-oh, I don't like it. All these years in school with all this imagination, I move out of my country to come here and finally get a job. And I'm like, no, this is not for me. And then as I was still working in the financial industry, one of my friends was doing open houses on the weekend. And I came in during the time when the economy, I was part of the people who graduated when the economy crashed. It was
Gotcha.
the international economy crash. So being finance at that time, you were not really well loved, right? So, and my friend was doing, she was doing uh, hosting open houses a few years after when I was working in the financial industry. So I was just like, okay, why not? She said they're looking for people just to work on the weekend. So I started doing open houses for this broker in town and I like it. It was fun. I love the people. I love talking about houses. I love make them understand why this property was better than another one. As I was in the house and they thought I was a realtor. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just a hostess. And then I just asked one day the broker if he was sponsoring for the license, and he did, and he sponsored mine, and that's how everything started. I got licensed in 2012 after 2 months, and I've been a realtor since 2012, and I've been a broker since 2018.
Gotcha. So, how is the real estate market? Everybody wants to know.
So the real estate market right now is really, I feel like we're transitioning more into a buyer's market. It's more balanced thanks to the pandemic. So it has been the seller's market for a very, very long time. I started flipping also back in 2016, 15, 16, because the market was really good for seller. Like you find the deal and you fix it a little bit and you put it on the market and you make money, right? I did a lot of flip with my husband. That's actually how we were able to pay our wedding. We didn't want to get too debt, so we stopped flipping houses so we can get the cash to pay for the wedding. But that's how we started. It was great for everybody. They were, and deal were very easy to find because we were still coming out of what happened a few years prior with the economy. So, but then the pandemic happened and everybody panicked, right? Because like, oh my God, now we all locked up in the house as a realtor, and the real estate market was going to happen. Well, 3% interest comes in. And then when the interest rate drop, what's happening? Everybody's just running. I bought my house during that time. I took advantage of it. I have a 2.78 interest rate on my home, and I will never be able to afford my current home with today's interest rate. But when the interest rate was at 7%, there's no way, because on the house. But now the market starts shifting, and with what's going on with the economy, and then the houses in Houston area are staying, because that's the market that service, stay about over 60 days. We have about 4 to 5 months of inventory. Houston is a little bit better than nationwide in general, because was the city of Houston and Texas, they did a really good job with maintaining our economy. We're not just based on one type of industry. We have several. We have finance, we have the medical. We have so many different fields here. They attract people. The fact that we don't pay income taxes, people keep coming in. But the fact that we have a lot of people coming in is the reason why the price of home keep going up.
Yeah.
And then during the pandemic was crazy. I had plenty of clients from New York, from California. They're coming here and buying this house cash. So I have buyer. They're like, it was multiple offer, but they're offering 20, 30, $50,000 more sometime.
Over
We
asking.
got house. I had listing. I had like 20 offers on one home, and it was sold within an hour. It was just ridiculous, and people were removing all contingency. And I'm sure you know that's not good, right? You remove the fact that you can do a home inspection. You remove the contingency on appraisal, so you just want the house. People were desperate to have the house at the lowest interest rate, but the fact that you were paying for the house 10, 20, $30,000 more, even if the interest rates were lower, true, it was lower, but if it felt like if 2, 3 years after you needed to turn around and sell it, now you're completely upside down. And that's what we've seen, and I've been seeing for some people 2, 3 years after the pandemic. So 2022, 2023, 2024, they realized that they overpaid for the house. The house was not worth what they were into. And I'm like, you need to stay put for at least 5 to 7 years to see how the economy will turn around. But right now, we have more. The inventory is still low, but not as low as it used to be. Home are sitting on the market longer. Buyers are more picky.
Mm.
They pay attention to details. They pay attention because the interest rate is higher. So now, if all their monthly budget is going to just pay the mortgage, they don't have no extra savings to fix everything else. So as a seller, first impression is very important. You have to make sure your house is attracting the buyer. The first 5 minutes they walk in, they open the door. If you have pets, unfortunately my dog passed away in August. But if you have a pet, please remove that pet smell.
Yeah.
The front door painted. You don't have to do a lot of changes in your home to make it appealing, but it needs to show that you care, because the buyer, they wonder, oh, if it smells like that, what else is behind the wall? If they open your fridge, please make sure your fridge is clean, because they know you're a clean or a dirty person. They look at the detail of your bathroom. Just put some silicone all around the tub to make sure it looks white and neat. Took everything away, because they're going to look all of that and wonder, how's this person really maintained? So that means, is the AC together? Is the roof together? Is the foundation together? What's going on with the plumbing? Seller also need to understand that the it's not because you change your roof, then it's going to increase the value of your home. This is item of maintenance. Changing the AC is maintenance. Well, you're supposed to have the AC. It's Houston, Texas, okay?
Yeah.
It's not a surprise. But
Thank you.
improving your bathroom, changing the look of it, give a different style, modernize certain things, yes, that's going to help increase your value. But yeah, we're turning into a buyer's market.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Well, did you hear what the president said yesterday? That he was going to make it illegal for large companies to own single family homes?
Yes, he's
Yeah.
been doing so many changes for us. Right now, the people with a visa cannot buy a house with an FHA. So a lot of, as you can hear, I'm a foreigner. I live in Houston, Texas. A lot of people come here with visa. They're working all these oil and gas company are coming from Schlumberger and Exxon and all that. They come in the US, they're here temporarily, but they still want to invest. And then the fact that they could have access to FHA loan versus a conventional loan make a difference. So they remove a lot of my buyer pool,
Really,
and a lot of all different changes happening. So at this point, all I can do is just work with what we have and what's going on.
I agree.
That's all I can say.
No, I know, and it'll be interesting.
Hmm.
But another thing I wanted to talk about that's been happening here in Houston and other places is the rules changing with short-term rentals. Like I know on January 1st, a bunch of rules just happened. What are those rules, and how is that going to change things as short-term rentals go?
So now you have to pay. I read that back in October. Now you have to pay a fee with the city of Houston or Galveston, with the city of Galveston, if you want to have a short-term rental. So before, Houston is the El Dorado. You do whatever you want, how you want it. We don't have no zoning. It's free for all here, as long as you make money and then you pay your property taxes. But now, I guess I'm not sure why exactly. Maybe too many complain. I have no idea. Now you have to register your property and you have to pay the fee with the city of Houston,
And I heard like if you get so many like complaints, they'll revoke your license.
which is kind of fair.
Yeah,
I have some client who live next to property with short-term rental, and whoever is renting do not care. Do not care. They're loud. They don't pay attention. They don't care. They park whatever. They party all night. And you have trash all around the property, which I understand. So whoever is the owner, you have to pay attention who's coming to you or to your home. You're still responsible. I'm also a property manager, so you're still responsible who is on your property.
no, I agree. It's gonna. I think it's gonna change. Everyone was just buying stuff for Airbnbs and short-term rentals, especially in Galveston. That was huge.
Yeah. But still, Houston is what is funny. People are buying because our prices are more affordable than other places. But the HOA do not like Airbnb. But plenty of people still don't say that I tell you to do that, right?
Yeah,
You hear it from me. But plenty of people are still doing Airbnb despite the fact that the HOA is not allowing it.
yeah, absolutely. I know the HOA is writing rules that it can't be short-term rentals. Any of the new developments. Do you sell many new homes, or are you selling mostly used homes? Or
I
previous?
guess it's 50-50. It's 50-50. So,
Is there still a lot of new homes that are in inventory?
oh, yeah. Yeah, especially the best time to buy a new home that I always tell everybody, if you want to buy a new home, and you're okay with inventory, you don't want to build it from the ground up, please buy it anytime between November and January.
Why?
You will have the best deal. Most buyers are focused on the holiday season, and people don't want to move, especially if you have a family in the middle of December, right? And then so the builder that just keep contacting all of us, like they're offering crazy incentive to buyer, crazy incentive to realtor to
Really?
see if we can, yeah, that's the best time. November, December, January, especially now. Like now, January, yes, you will buy your new construction. They will pay all your closing costs. I have a client that we're gonna close soon. They pay for all your closing costs. You don't have to worry about it. They add sometimes fridge, washer, and dryer, and you can sometimes, depending the builder, if it's those luxury or mid-range builder, they will negotiate the price with you 20, 30, 50,000 sometime off the price
Really?
if the house has been sitting on the market for over 20 days because they need to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they doing anything with interest rates?
Yes. Okay. So I have a big builder here in town. I'm not gonna mention the name, but everybody know him. He's not a doctor. And then they're offering 3.99 interest rate on the FHA and 4.99 interest rate on a conventional. It depend on the inventory, depend the location, it depend the price range. So every community is different. But that's what they're currently offering right now. Or some other they will offer you the buy down rate. So they will give you closing costs, and with the closing cost money, you can use it to buy down your rate for the first 2 years or the first year of your loan. So you can ease into that 6% after a while. The other one, he's doing it for the entire life of the loan. And how they do that is they tend to inflate the price of the home and then use that increase to put that and work out the deal. And a lot of them, not a lot of some of them, they have their own loan program. They're so that's why they're able to offer a 30 years mortgage rate on it. So yeah, so be careful. So for these one, when you buy them, I usually advise my client, please stay in the house for at least 5 years, to catch up on the value because Houston has been doing really good, an average of 3 to 5% increase on home value every year.
Yeah. Have you seen any increase in foreclosures?
Not as much.
Really?
Not as much, but the bank don't like that. They don't like
No.
non-performing assets, so they're gonna work with you. And whoever is in foreclosure situation right now, call them, tell them, "Hey, I lose my job," or whatever happened, someone passed away, whatever reason you have, they're gonna work with you. They're going to work with you,
Because they don't
even
want to own the homes.
yeah, they're going to work with you and really help you because they don't want to go to foreclosure. It doesn't work, and sometimes when they go in auction, nobody's buying it and you keep coming back, you keep coming back. That's why you see some people, they haven't paid the mortgage in like 8 months and they're still there. What's going on? Well, the bank can sell it and make up their money, and they probably don't want to start doing all the legal things in order to get you out of the house right away. So you can work with them. They can help you catch up and whatever you owe you behind, put it in the back of your loan and give you a new monthly payment. They will work with you. So don't just stay in the dark if you're facing foreclosure.
Exactly. Can you still find deals out there for like flips now?
Yes, but not as great as it used to.
Gotcha.
So now you really the different way people can find a deal is through wholesaler. So these are people that just go out there and then call markets to homeowner and try to find deals. So be careful with wholesaler also because sometimes they tend to inflate the price and inflate the results you can have. So always have a realtor to really run for you the real comp. And then be careful also if you use a hard money lender because their fees are so high.
Hmm.
You tend to pay 12 to 13% loan for the first, they will give you maybe a 6 months loan. And if you need to extend it because you didn't finish the repair on the property or you have some issue in that point, you pay oftentimes they charge you 1% plus the monthly that you're supposed to pay. It's only balloon, there's no money towards the interest, the principal. But there is some deal, but it will be better if you can find it yourself versus going through a wholesaler.
Gotcha. Hmm. Interesting. I know a while back I heard about like Redfin was going to take over real estate because you could do it between the buyer and seller without a real estate agent. Did you ever hear about that?
Yes, I heard about that, but at the end of the day, this is what I believe. This is just my 2 cents. Real estate is one of the biggest purchase that any human being right now can do, right? The common people, right? Except if you're a billionaire. But if you come in just like me, you will that will be a big purchase, right? A $400,000, $500,000 home. That's your bigger one. Removing the realtor who does have the knowledge and understanding of the contract. We are not lawyers, but we understand the contract would be in. It's been a minute that I've been doing this, so I know what's in there and how it works. Removing the fact that you have the personal knowledge of the area, like I know Houston really well. I know area that is worth to put your money in or not. Removing the fact that you really have an advocate versus sometimes it's difficult for you self to negotiate for yourself. Like when I do commercial deal, I don't negotiate for myself on my commercial deal. I will call my friend who is I'm mainly a residential person, but I'll call my friend who's a commercial realtor who's going to handle because sometimes you get emotional in there unless you're an investor. But if it's most people buy property for personal reason, uh, removing the realtor in the middle of it, no, I don't think it's going to really work because every company that try to do stuff like that, like back in the day, well, they still are, but so those they were trying to do like just um a lot of iBuyer company, they come in the market, they remove the realtor, they wanted to deal directly with the seller. People realize, well, this is not really working because at the end of the day, you will pay as much or more fees than if you had a realtor. and a lot of these company disappear. And even the bigger one got out of this business altogether. The big Z that we know is out of this business either. So when they say we're going to remove realtor stuff like that, I don't think really it's going to work because people will always need an advisor on their side. It's almost like say you're going to remove your lawyer.
No, I agree. I
There's no
agree.
way you would know everything about everything
No,
when,
and AI can't do it either. So
yeah.
no, I absolutely understand. So like if I was selling my home, what are some of the things that you would do to help me sell my home?
So but one of the first place I do a quick analysis of yourself. So why are you saying what you go, where we're going? Because I really need to understand where you are uh, uh, personally, or if you're an investor, where are you, what you go. And then after we determine your goal, then I'm going to review your property. So I'm going to give you an evaluation of the home to see where the value is, but I have to look at the house. A realtor that just give you an evaluation without seeing your home is not really good because not all homes are the same. Not all improvement is the same. So it's very important for me to walk your property and see what's going on. Then I'm going to try to understand the market you're in also. Which type of people buying in your neighborhood? Is this more professional? Is it more family? Is it a good rental area? So evaluate all of that. And then also, I will use today's technology. So I use traditional marketing and today's technology to mix the both and see and put a full marketing plan in place to help sell the house for you based on the time frame that you want. If you're like, I'm not in a rush, um, then we're gonna work with your time frame. If you're like, no, I need to get it sold to sell tomorrow,
Gotcha.
so we're gonna work with that, but also always be sure that the property is where the buyers at, where the people are. So I use technology, I use all the social media, I use not just stay here in town. I also know because a lot of people move to Houston, so we're gonna advertise and market in other area to let them know our house is here and it's available for you if you want to purchase it, and not just in the US, also overseas.
Gotcha. So that's for a seller. What about a buyer? How do you work with buyers?
So how I work with buyers, once again, we sit down with them, we go and review their need and what's going on and what's the point. I usually say there's the house that you imagine for yourself and there's the house that is a reality.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the friend who'll be like, hey, let's come back to reality. Sometimes people want to have everything, and then I'll be like, okay, the type of home that you want is a $750,000 home. And the
Yeah.
mortgage would be, I don't know, it's $4,000, $5,000 a month. Is it something that you want? And you need to put 20% down. They'll be like, oh no, 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 no. So let's come back to reality. And then I present them, but I like to give options. So I would tell them every type of option available. We can go new construction, we can do resale, we can do townhome, we can do condos, we can do single family, we can do duplexes. Some of my clients, they want to have the flexibility to live on one side, rent on the other side. So, but then we're going to pay attention of the price, and I do the analysis to which type of rental you can have in the neighborhood and how much it will be if you have to live on one side and rent the other side. And then some people is, oh, I need a place for school because I have young children. So, or maybe I'm just pregnant. I just have a toddler, but then I'm gonna make sure they think, okay, so this is not, is it for you forever home or is just a temporary home? So if it's temporary home, we don't necessarily have to care that much for the school because your babies are not on school age, but you just know by the time they turn 5, you need to be able to get out of here, but we have to make sure the house that you're buying is worth maybe to put for rent or resell in the future. So this is the kind of things that I analyze for my buyer. And before we go to any property, I do analysis on it to make sure, is it in a flood zone? Because Houston, we prone to flooding. So is it in the flood zone? Is it any foundation work done? How old are the roof, the AC? I check the plumbing, any repair, upgrade that be done in the house. So I'm trying to get all this information ahead in advance. Then I present it to my client and before we go and tour. The goal is not to waste time and just drive just to drive. We can do that another time.
No, but Houston's a pretty affordable place to live comparatively, right?
Yes, compared to Dallas and Austin, we're the best. We're the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and sometimes we're not as pretty as those places though either. But like I always said, Houston is a great place to make money.
Yes, it is. But we're getting there. Look at all these beautiful towns. They're building lagoon for us. We have artificial beach here, like in
I know.
Soterra,
Exactly.
for example. So that's super cool.
Awesome. So if somebody wanted your services, where would they find you? How can they reach out?
So they can contact me at my phone number is 832-475-1627, or they can email me Danielle B at DBK Real Estate, or they can just type my name Danielle Bilumbo-Leach, and they will find me on her.com, and all social media: LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook,
All of
TikTok.
the things. I'll put all this in the show notes so everybody has it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you for having me. It was a real pleasure being here.
Thanks.